Okay, so like definitely not very interested right now. That's for like the perfect solution that Venala might have came up with after like 70 years later after like being like the supervisor as well as the ruler. My consider that especially since like the actual Venala was only before having her soul fused with like Cardinal actually only genuinely wanted to be like the ultimate the only desire for like the ultimate authority and ultimate power alone. That's like the true desire of the Quinella. And about the something like once Quinella became aware of her soul being fused with like Cardinal, at that point, like definitely the only thing in Quinola's mind might have been just to turn things around in such a way that like Quinola doesn't have to do like the supervision job, which like Quinola might have normally dislike. So I'm personally protecting like the first and even the solution that Quinola might have came up with would be precisely that like to precisely like it might be at that point after Quinola becoming aware that Quinola might have like added like the whole concept of like the calling to like the taboo index, especially my person generation. She might have added like the concept of calling to like the taboo index in such a way that basically anyone even disobeying like the calling will be considered as like the breakage of like the taboo index. Not doing like the calling of like each and everything he cares will be considered as like the breakage of taboo index. And then separating might have added calling into the lives of all those people in such a way that basically already existing humans in like already existing humans would be that straight away written off like falling like and maybe like I'm something like PNLM might have also created like the highest priest right then as well to basically give like the enforce like the calling on to all the present humans and PNLM might have also like assigned like the highest priest with like the job as well to precisely enforce like the coding like Vanilla might have changed things around in such a way that basically whenever like the present humans during that time had children like but the moment the child will be born itself like a coding might be like straight away enforced into that child. It's definitely my person theorem even from birth. It's definitely my person theorem. So like that might be like one among like the many duties of like the highest priest, which is definitely which will be precisely assigned by Queen Allah. That's definitely my person theorem. So like that might be the precise reason for like seeming as if like Selka as well as Alice, even though that when they were extremely young as well, they seem like them having like a falling already even back when they were like so extremely young. That's definitely my personal theory of friction. So like when so and this would be perfectly Quinola strategy so that like Quinola wouldn't have to like work as like supervisor and totally would always be able to like remain as like the this like authoritarian like the ruler supreme ruler of like entire the world of underworld precisely because like this calling like precisely Quinola might have created this concept of calling like the precise intent that basically by creating like the concept of calling and adding like calling to like the have index in such a way that breakage of like and or not doing like the coding would be considered as like a breakage of like the tab index. So the through this like what QNLM might have achieved might have been to like turn like the entirety of like the human right there present and their offspring like to put them all into the trap of coding so that like basically they would be like always remaining distracted all throughout their entire lives. It would be like totally like wouldn't even be getting any time to like even think about or even question like in sort of injustice like that question like the injustice that's like basically taking place in like the virtual world of underworld and they will be like forced so that like they will be like mentally totally forced to like basically to only focus on their falling because like not even skipping even a single day of like their falling would be considered as like a breakage of like the language. So like always to like keep them all controlled and keep them rolled over and keep them distracted and keep them only focused on their daily calling work would be like precise so that like that they like the possibility of like any of them even remotely if, so that like the possibility of like none of those humans like basically even breaking any rules and that way like being having to like play the role of like supervisor wouldn't even happen because like they would like never be able to like break the role of like the taboo like only because like they would be always fully focused on like the calling each and every single time. And like the calling might have even been like set up by Quinella. The concept of calling might have even been set up by Quinella in such a way that like exactly like how like Yujo had been cutting like the cancer artery. And according to like Quinella plan, like Yujo might have been would be like supposed to like even die even while Yujo will be dying of old age like still Yujo will be still you to like the very last day of his life Yujo will still be cutting like the cancer artery and still wouldn't be able to like make any sort of like significant progress at all. So that like each and every single human and their offspring like basically would live to their entire lives doing only their single calling would be like precisely the precise strategy and plan of like Lab. So that way like Lab wouldn't have to play the role of a supervisor at all, and so would always like remain as like the total and absolute ruler, because of like that way like absolutely none of like the humans like human plus like even being able to none of like the principles like even being able to like break the taboo etc. It's definitely this might have been like the solution that Quinella might have came up with. It's definitely my person theory and prediction. So like definitely my person theory and prediction is that like even to like the present day Quinella would still have not been able to like change like that one thing that basically Quinella of like Quinella having a soul fuse with like and we are seeing like for the role of as well as the supervisor. Then to the present day Quinella would be for the role of as well as like the supervisor as well. It's definitely my percentage mention, but like the only difference would be in like the percent rather than the only time Quinella might have been forced to like do her supervising work which like Quinella would have really like might have been precisely when Alice might have broken like the taboo index and when like Ijo and Kirito broke like, the taboo index. It might be during those times alone that basically Quinella might have been like after a great time, after a great period of time, it might be only then that basically Quinella was even forced to like show in sort of like supervising one. It's definitely my cousin theory. Also, my cousin theory is that like since like both Quinella and Cardinal's souls are fused, like exactly like how Quinella is not only like the ruler but also the supervisor. Ever since that incident, like I was referring, Cardinal as well will be like also not just a supervisor but also like have the power of like that absolute authoritarian so and supreme ruler, exactly like Quinella. It's definitely my positive represent. So like I'm positive only putting eventually for Kirito to like sing along such lines. Kirito only sing along such lines of basically using Cardinal as like not just like see I feel get to eventually like most likely in the future would be when I'm also preparing for Kirito to figure out that Kirito starting to like view Cardinal not just as like a supervisor but also as like the supreme ruler as well, exactly like Canada as well, since they are so confused. And he totally eventually like the most likely in the instant case of trying to totally take advantage of that power of that supreme ruling power that Cardinal would be possessing precisely against Canada. Like the synthesis are also like a opportunity that I'm projecting. So my question theory and predictions were like since both Cardinal as well as Queen like souls of fused, those were only putting Queen and even Cardinal in like the person basically revealing all this to like Kirito and everything. Maybe all that will be like even being controlled by remotely controlled by Queen who would be like at the top of like the center of their group. Which definitely my person theory and prediction. So and so like even precisely as like Kirito and Yujo were recently running away and trying to escape, like precisely them even being precisely that precisely even being helped out by Cardinal into the select into that way Kirito and Yujo were making it to this library. All that would be like precisely done precisely by the remote controlling of Vienna on Cardinal. Just definitely my cousin It might have been precisely done precisely for like precisely because Cardinal might have been patiently waiting. Cardinal who definitely I mean like Vienna who definitely would be like precisely Kayaba. Kayaba like when Kayaba full time into like the Russell world on the world, Kayaba would be like precisely Vienna. Definitely my cousin things will be like all the things that Antonella would be doing would be precisely like we precisely things that Kaiba would be doing is definitely not the simple very much. So Kaiba, I'm still thinking about some revision that like in theory that Kaiba would be like doing all this to like get Kirito to create that desire in Kirito that is to basically that so that like Kirito to basically show up to like the top of like the center of the region more than before so that like basically Kaiba as like Quinella might want to like make Kirito suffer from like the top of like the center of the room. Quinella would be patiently waiting for Kirito and Kirito to basically make it up to like the top of the center of the room. It's also definitely another thing to remember. Also, like definitely networking data impressions that like index the distance future and contact cutting cost to record definitely literally struggling strain to like finally being able to like overpower and to get to another. But then I was sort of cutting like at that point, with like and I was differing from like that exact very exact shock from like Queenella who would be like Kaiba, like always having this feeling that Queenella had like the strongest and like that role of the entire time, and basically that Queenella having like getting a reality check with like eventually the consistencies of Kirby actually or defeating and most likely even taking the life of Queenella. Like at that point, like I'm also bringing Queenella would be like like this human flashlight as well would be like totally crashing. It's like the it's like the scenario that I'm also bringing Kaiba at that point won't be able to like handle the growth, and at that point Queenella's like artificial flashlight crashing. And basically at that point like Kaiba instantly exactly like how with like a shock like basically Kirito had basically like came out like the virtual world of underworld to like the actual real world precisely back when like ants had been taken away by like the intergalactic empire. In a similar scenario with like Queen and like artificial flux light eventually like the distant case of one Kirito relocating Queen and like crashing. And basically at that point was only protecting for Kayaba basically returning back to like the real world in like the ocean and right then I'm preparing Kayaba yeah, being extremely frustrated towards like Kirito and like extremely frustrated and he's towards like Kirito and Kayaba at that point deciding to like use his next strategy to like basically get his revenge on Kirito and make Kirito suffer, and that's at that point when I'm preparing it will be only after like Kirito defeating Kayaba and Quinlan and like Kaiba returning back to like the real world that I'm observing at that point for like Kaiba definitely would be having like access to those precise two super accounts. So like I'm considering at that point Kaiba precisely choosing like the God Stasia super account and basically logging in back and full diving into like the virtual world of Counterpart as like the God Stasia. Kaiba once again full diving and showing up to like the virtual world of Counterpart as God Stasia, and God Stasia would be having like so much exceptional power. So like as God stated, I think the Kaiba would be totally using all that to feed up powers that God stated would be but need to like target Kirito and like to totally make Kirito suffer. And it was especially during that time that was suffering while Kaiba would be in like the full diving situation like I'm suffering especially Asuna right then like seeing all this like Asuna deciding to like help Kirito out by like basically getting angry and at like Kikoka for like all the mess he had made, and then end up with Kikoka most likely giving Asuna like the access to like the super account of God Vector. And precisely Asuna like that way like super diving into like the virtual world of underwater as God Vector and basically helping Kirito out and then finally bringing down God Stasia, which is really precisely Kaiba. It's like the final showdown fight like scenario that I'm going to be and my positive impressions. Okay, so like but my positive impression right now as is that like basically if you end up on top of like having making some tough mistake of like basically having a sword fuse with the Cardinal, if you end up on top of that like even making another mistake of like basically the next mistake of basically through like transferring over her memories and thought like turning Cardinal as well into gaining like the very same authority of that of Quinlan. My positive impression is that because of like the extreme naive nature of Quinlan and the repeated mistakes that Quinlan is making. Unfortunately, right now, my positive impression is that definitely that like Quinlan definitely won't be an artificial, won't be a human flesh like Kiriko. While Kirito's like a human flashlight, that Kirito is full diving and playing as like Ambrose Differing. Like in the case of Quinlan, Ambrose Differing, it definitely won't be like a human flashlight of Kayaba, won't be as Quinlan as definitely the positive emotion. And my personal theory is that like naturally Vienna might be like the defendant because like the first ancestors of like the virtual world of Underworld were like definitely according to members in the range will be most likely might have been like Kayaba and like Kikoka, Tiga as well as like Ringo. And Ringo might have like could dive into like the virtual world of Underworld while turning himself and while like ensuring to turn himself into like or like Tiga might have definitely could dive into like the virtual world of Underworld by turning herself Frida into like a woman. So it's definitely what might have happened. It's definitely another considering. So like I'm considering since like Kayaba might have been like the only among like the first four ancestors of like the working world of the world. Like Kayaba would might like you said as one of them. Like I'm considering due to the extreme villanistic nature of Kayaba and like due to like Kayaba alone possessing that extreme villanistic nature to like different and extreme villain signature and that just having like the desperate desire to like take control over others like basically hand rule over the random different like precisely because of this like precisely because even like the percentage artificial fluctuating like the local world of underworld are all dependent of like these ancestor of ancestor for artificial fluctuate and this ancestor human fluctuations like all the present day artificial fluctuates are descendants of those for like human fluctuate and was only something like Kaiba's villanistic nature like the precise artificial fluctuate that might have precisely inherited Kaiba's like villanistic nature to the maximum might have been precisely Quinella. Quinella might have been like the first artificial fluctuate to like basically precisely inherit like Kaiba's like villainous nature to the maximum and this might be the present sole reason for like Quinella alone having such extreme desire to and villainous nature and having that extreme desire to really rule over and control others. When compared to all of like the majority of the remaining artificial fluctuates, especially when from the during so like I'm preferring so precisely I'm preferring Quinella will actually be like an artificial fluctuate. So like I definitely was very questions that like it's especially because like Cardinal like artificial what like Cardinal the AI program of Cardinal was that's precisely even being like an AI program that's like precisely and totally created to precisely like do the role and task of like supervising by in the case of like QNLM like artificial fluctuate like, even though QNLM might have stolen away like supervising power of Cardinals in like the past like still it's only due to like vanilla not being designed or created as like a the artificial flux light to actually perform like the task of like supervising would be like so written for like vanilla not even being not having like any knowledge of like the existence of like the main program and sub especially the sub program lying within vanilla the moment vanilla and cardinal like so certainly my purpose is like have vanilla has like that precise exact knowledge like vanilla might have precisely got written like a command like to precisely erase like the unwanted memory in like Quinolan's mind, and that way like increase like that way to like increase like the storage. That way to like basically have more of like space in like Quinolan's memory storage instead of like transferring making like the blunder of like transferring over memories and thoughts into like precisely uh, Cardinal. And the Cardinal might have been patiently waiting for like about 20 years, patiently for like waiting for like since like Cardinal might have already knew that would be aware that since like Vanilla is not designed to be like a AI supervising program. Like even though Vanilla might have gained that the supervising powers by stealing it from Cardinal, still Vanilla would definitely not be having any knowledge of like the sub program existing within Vanilla. So like so precisely because of that, like Cardinal might have been like patiently keeping silent and basically patiently waiting for like Vanilla's memory to turn cold, and at that point for Vanilla to like naively like transfer over all of her memories to Cardinal because the Cardinal might have also precisely knew that basically in that process certainly Cardinal would be like gaining like the exact same authority as that of Vanilla, so that like at that point Cardinal would finally have like even precisely exactly like how Cardinal sub as well as Twinless sub program that exists within their soul being precisely to correct Twinella. Since like but on the other hand like but like while Twinella being unaware and Cardinal being aware of it like Cardinal totally chose to like remain silent about it and precisely wait until like Twinella make the blunder of like transferring over like the memory of her memories over Cardinal, and that way Cardinal gaining like the very same exact authority of Trinilla, so that like with that authority, the same exact authority of Trinilla, Cardinal will be finally able to like fulfill the goals of our SULS program and be able to like stop actually work against like yeah, in equal terms be able to like work against Trinilla, and Trinilla there will be like nothing that Trinilla will be able to do at that point. Uh, would be so like this would be like the precise time we are waiting for Cardinals. Definitely that might have happened. So like definitely my personal impressions that like the food like Keto might have got it the first time like as like a human but plus like might have full dived into like the virtual world of underworld like at that point of the but by then like Cardinal might have by then had like the very same exact authority as that of like that's that of Quinella like with like both the higher authority and supervision power like basically both Quinella as well as Cardinal simultaneously might have totally been able to like recognize Kirito as like human such like that's like totally different from all the other like right. And while Quinella might have straight away sense Kirito as like a threat, like Cardinal might have precisely sensed Kirito as like the precise trump card of that Cardinal will be able to use to like precisely correct more of like Quinella's to fully correct PNL errors, like basically the Cardinal might have precisely indicate to us like ultimate transfer. Definitely not those in so like I'm referring precisely and so like I was referring like precisely while the first time Kircho put out the single of underworld and Kircho being like the reason for like Alice being taken away by like the integrity and like at that shock that Kircho had precisely I'm referring during that point, Kircho's like human flashlight might have been about to crash. Might have been like a scenario that might have been about to happen during that time as it was being forcefully taken away by the entire screen right in front of kids and kids on screen was definitely my person training. So like precisely at that point I'm looking for things it might have been precisely Cardinal that might have precisely interfered and precisely might have done something to like might have only interfered and even though like the world of underworld doesn't have an over person like Cardinal might have like both Funeral as well as Cardinal might have like the power to like basically forcefully log out any of like the human or artificial website that's existing within the virtual world of underworld is also might a possibility that I'm also so like it might have been precisely Cardinal forceful interference and forceful logging out of Kirito. That might have happened at that point. Precisely because Cardinal might have even back then found like Kirito as like an important human plus like to precisely stop PNL terror. So precisely to save Kirito's human plus life from crashing, like maybe like Cardinal might have interfered and hopefully locked Kirito out. That might have been what might have happened at that point. It's also my theory and direction. So Cardinal might have been also confident that like even if Cardinal does that, like it will be once again returning back to lecture of the world. So maybe that might have been what might have happened back then. It's definitely my personal theory. So like as for like Ryo like returning back as like Elder Yambo Superin, that might have been like the work of like Quinella, while Quinella who totally is since like Quinella who totally even get to the threat, like it would be like totally a fight between like Quinella and as well as like Cardinal, while Quinella on one side would be like using like Rios and totally might have been pleased with like a Rios' performance and everything like that might have been disappointed when like Rios might have died like that point Quinella might have interested the Quinella doing that might have resulted in like basically Rios being brought back. It's definitely my person to remember as like a definitely no intervention. While above the thing, it might have been precisely like the multiple interference by Cardinal to precisely ensure that nothing happens to like get just human flashlight to ensure that we get just human flashlight doesn't crash would be like precise reason for like might have been precisely Cardinal from like the library, like most likely using her ultimate authority to like precisely change her voice and into like Alpha's voice and send Alpha's voice towards like Kipcho's mind precisely while at the first point when like Yujo was about to die, like to precisely send that voice to like that voice that Kid heard in his mind of Alice might have been precisely a voice that might have of Alice that might have sent by precisely Cardinal so because like Cardinal might not only profane like the positive possibly like exactly like earlier like Kid so was like possibly might ending up like crashing like such a possibility might have been something that Cardinal might have foreseen like especially as Hugo was like about to die. So like certainly to help Kirito out and prevent it of human prospect from cracking might be the best reason for like Cardinal sending her voice of Alice towards Kirito, especially as Kirito was going through such an emotional and critical situation and extremely emotional situation, like emotionally vulnerable situation. And even like the second time as well, when Kirito precisely lost the flowers, like precisely like and going through such an extremely vulnerable emotional state as well, precisely it might have been precisely once again Cardinal like saving Kirito is by sending her voice as like output voice. Definitely, what might have happened is definitely not talking to reimbursement. But like I'm also saying, it might have been that so precisely even like precisely Cardinal even while sending her voice as Alice's voice, pretending to be Alice's voice, like even telling Kirito to like show to like the center of the top of the center, which might actually be like Cardinal attempt to like basically eventually draw Kirito towards like the central center of location so that like precisely so that perfectly Cardinal will be able to because like perfectly Cardinal uh, had not chosen like the voice of Alice, like Cardinal might have only feared the possibility that will basically of kids not only ignoring that voice of Cardinal, like Cardinal might have probably thought that basically if she only used Alice's voice, that basically kids would be taking like that voice seriously and would be doing according to what that voice says might have been what Cardinal might have thought. So like it might be the first because of reason that Cardinal might have using Alice's voice told kids so that basically she is on top of like the center of Cardinal so that like Cardinal might have only expected kids to like, eventually make it towards center. Towards like the center of Cardinal and right then like it because like Cardinal would be then fully aware of as to like the tight security like the center of like Cardinal might have been like patiently obviously might have been waiting and obviously expected once the kids will be showing up to like the center of he will be firstly attacked and chased. So like at that point like Cardinal might have been planning to like precisely like send that so like precisely that might be the precise reason for like Cardinal even it might have been precisely Cardinal using anti voice like might have precisely even directed Kirito's direction as Kirito was being chased by like I think like the highest priest that might have been really Cardinal that might have directed and given like Kirito the precise direction towards which like Kirito needs to run to so that like that way Alice so that that way the Cardinal will be able to like pull Kirito into like the library to the Cardinal library so that like Cardinal could like reveal everything to like Kirito and that way turn Kirito into like with already some a human structure that Cardinal will be seeing as her ultimate trump card to like basically correct all of like the roles of like Grenada. On top of that, to precisely to make Kirito aware of like everything about like Grenada might have also been like such an extremely high priority for Cardinal. So to make it that much more easier for Kirito for Cardinals to precisely use Kirito to like uh, stop Quinola and all of us are using Kirito. It's definitely my personal reason. So getting Kirito to like the library might have been like a long term high priority for like and a huge goal for like Cardinal for this entire time. Like ever since like Kirito might have logged into like the virtual put out in, and showed up into like the virtual world of like the underworld as like a human to threat for like the very first time itself. It's certainly my personal reaction. Okay, so definitely my personal reaction right now with like Cardinal basically revealing everything about the past and about Cardinal as well as Queen and to Kirito. But the one thing that Kirito would be realizing right now is that like in order for Kirito to basically be able to like get back into like the real world and simultaneously also like free all the artificial flux light from like the taboo index, destroy the taboo index and for Kirito to like achieve all these things like the precise only thing that crypto even has to do is especially take like the life of Cardinal, who's like basically standing right in front of you. So that would be like because like Cardinal as well as Queen who's like the main villain who's like enforcing all this problem that's like this and causing all the situation in like the virtual world of underworld and everything. And that Cardinal like Crypto might be even figuring out and I'm considering maybe for Crypto to like even ask like but maybe especially Cardinal as to like why exactly there's no logout button in like the virtual world of Wonderworld as well. So also like about that I'm also so anyway, about the putting Kirko coming to the realization like a real soon that basically in order for Kirko to be able to like escape back into the real world, all Kirko has to do is basically take Cardinal's life and the Cardinal as well as Venula's soul share like the same soul, like taking the life of Cardinal will be also taking simultaneously taking the life of Venula as well. But definitely Ambassador Dr. Brinkins that Kirko was like a kind hearted and like an empathetic person. Ambassador Dr. Kirko instead deciding to like precisely to set up a new goal, and that will be precisely to like precisely defeat Cardinal and basically not take the life of Cardinal, but defeat Cardinal, and that way bring so that like that way kids of object control authority will be even higher than Cardinal's like end up being like even higher than defeat Queenala and like basically so that like at that point like Kircho's object control authority would be even higher than Queenala's object control authority, with which like Kircho would be able to like access like all of like the top and highest books and basically at that point, like Cardinal, Quinella won't be able to like stop Kirito and like using those books like Kirito would be able to like rewrite the taboo index and maybe even using the books like Kirito might even hope that basically one of these books might even have like the precise logout button to precise command to like maybe even create like a logout button as well using which like Kirito would be able to like to get back to like the human world, turn back to the human world as well. So also like about that I'm also working, but maybe I'm also pressing like it, so maybe even finding that out, like a single book in like the entire like the library, they are being like a single book that has like the command for like the logout buttons for logging out of like the virtual world of underworld, but that would be like considering that to be like the precise single book, which would be having like that would be like the thing that in order to perform that perform and create that logout button, like it would be like an the most highest level sacred as well. Would be exactly that. So like Kirito would be like realizing that like and I'm considering at that point for like Cardinals to possibly even reveal to Kirito that like in order to not to be able to like access that extremely high level sector as well. It's only like accessible by Cardinal as well as like Quinella alone. And I'm also bring maybe for Kirito even asking Cardinal's help to basically log out, but I'm also bring Cardinal not allowing Kirito. So also like a possibility that I'm also bring because like Cardinal for this Cardinal like it's like perfectly programmed to like correct ensure like all the errors of like generalized fix like that would be the only thing in like Cardinal mind as well. So like Cardinal simply can't might currently in like the current situation Cardinal simply might not be able to like afford to like let Kirito log out and leave like the virtual world of Wonderworld. That's also like about to that and also so Cardinal as well not allowing Kirito to precisely access to like the logout button. So like I'm also separating uh, Kirito and Cardinal finally come to the agreement to like basically for Kirito to like eventually fight and or for and defeat for Kirito to like train extra hard and basically return for Kirito to like then return back here and basically by then like Ambassador Cardinal also revealing to Kirito that basically Quinula basically precise like the base or like the precise location where Quinula lives is precisely on top of like the center of the so Kirito and Cardinal most likely agreeing that basically Kirito would train extra hard and Kirito would make his return and Kirito would be challenging Quinella on top of like the center of the and Kirito would be eventually defeating Quinella and that way that way Kirito being able to like increase surpass his object control authority even more than Quinella object control authority and that way Kirito would be earning his like logout button his like a right to be able to perform like the sacred art spell of like the logout button and the like the virtual world of like underworld which might be like the agreement that Kirito might even make with like a Cardinal because like I'm also putting and because like my person impressions are like because like currently like the object control authority of both with like Cardinal as well as Cardinal sharing like same authority. The object control authority, current object control authority of both Cardinal as well as the Cardinal will be the exact space. So like even though both of them would be have strength to like oppose each other, like both of them wouldn't be having like the power like to offend each other. It's a bit of limit of interest. But like about the agreement that Kirito might make with Cardinal would be to basically eventually fight and defeat Queen Land in the process like Kirito being able to like surpass even Queen like object control authority, and then Kirito using his like ultimate authority to like perfectly lower, greatly lower like Queen like object control authority, so that like definitely my considering direction as well, like this agreement that will be happening between like crypto and Cardinal, and most likely like crypto telling Cardinal that basically he would like train extra hard and eventually get seriously strong and raise to like of the control authority to the point that he would actually be able to like walk up to the top of the control and challenge like Vienna. So that like basically it was only would be like telling Cardinal that basically prompting Cardinal that he would eventually offer for and defeat Quinella, so that like through that process like Kirito of the control authority would be surpassing even Quinella of the control authority, and then for Kirito to like totally in person like using this like higher of the control authority, Kirito exactly for like greatly reducing like Quinella like of the control authority, and then Kirito might be like planning on imprisoning like uh, crypto impersonating like Quinella, and basically then like I'm going to starting crypto to like using it like higher of the control rate power, like basically taking away and removing like the interface with the tab and like that way freeing all the artificial fluctuation like the virtual world of underworld. And that this might be like crypto's code would be crypto would be like telling Cardinal right now the real soon is like scenario that I'm considering, and then crypto will be telling Cardinal that was like uh, 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 so between like object control authority being greatly reduced and real life and being in person like the whole supervising uh, duty of like possibly Cardinal won't be like as a tough fact for Cardinal at all at that point, but like Quinella not being able to like obstruct or come in the way of like Cardinal's like supervising duty will be along the lines that Kipto would be telling of promising Cardinal, and then Kipto will be saying like after doing all this, like I will be basically using that my higher object and authority, I will be accessing like performing like the sacred art spell of like the logout button of logouting, and basically that way Kipto is then leaving while everything is set and done, like at that point for Kipto to like basically perform the sacred spell of logout, and basically that way get the logging out of like the virtual world of like underworld. This much might be what like the agreement that Kirito might make with like Cardinal is like possibly that I'm going to only putting in my person to emergency, which like Cardinal will just straight away agree. Like the scenario that I'm going to putting in my person to emergency. Okay, so like I definitely my particular impression right now after like Cardinal attacking Quinella, especially after like having Cardinal thoughts and memories being erased and replaced with like Quinella thoughts and memories, what might be actually happening would be especially Cardinal like a sub-program of like fixing Quinella like potentially kicking in and straight away detecting Quinella like attempt to like control Cardinal as like an error, and basically because like Vienna is like shares the same soul as Cardinal, and hence like Vienna is not only just like the ruler but also like a supervisor as well. And exactly because like Cardinal as well after that for memory and thought overwriting process since like Cardinal as well has turned into like into like having like the processing authority of that of Vienna, like basically two people of mutual compositions, which basically one of those person like you know like trying to control like the other person like Cardinal, while each of them having like the equal authority and power, like precisely would be like detected straight away by Cardinals like SubProgram as like an error from Srina's side, trying to while Srina's would be trying to control Cardinal, and straight away an error that straight away needs to fixing might have been like how like it might have been instantly been detected from Cardinal side, and so like Cardinal that might be how like Cardinal would be like straight away attacking Quinella even without having any memories, like Cardinal straight away attacking Quinella back at precisely as like, and that way preventing Quinella from trying to like control Cardinal would be like precisely happening in such a manner, even while Cardinal would be having any sort of memories, like limit of the impression. Okay, so like the limit of the impression right now is that like no matter how much like Quinella would be trying to like for and defeat like Cardinal, and considering like the fight between like Quinella and Cardinal would definitely end up in a precise draw, exactly because like they both have like the very same authority, and they both would be like fighting with like the equal intent, equal yet opposite intent, like Quinella giving it everything to basically attack and bring down like Cardinal, while Cardinal at the same time doing everything in her power to precisely stop Queen as well. Basically, by both of them fostering like the equal authority and power at the same time. So like I'm also definitely praying for like the fight to end in like a draw, but like basically finally Queen deciding to like give the fight a rest and basically finally Quinla being fed up and basically Quinla deciding to telling both like Quinella and Cardinal like leaving each other like on like an agreement. It's like the scenario that I'm representing here. Quinella telling Cardinal that basically okay, so like I'm not going to fight you anymore. That basically just fight is like pointless and Quinella might have told like might have not ordered like maybe Quinella might have ordered initially at that point for Cardinal to like basically that you can live in like the whole center cathedral itself alone, but not along with me. Like you can live in like the library area of like the center cathedral. And Cardinal might have told Pinella to not tell that to me as like an order because I don't have to like follow your order anymore because like we both hold like the same authority. So like at that point, Quinella might have extremely got frustrated because like Quinella would be like totally used to like giving orders and would be used to like that supreme power and everything. But like Quinella for like the first time being forced to like humble down and basically Quinella might have only requested or like without it being like an order like Quinella might have told politely told uh, uh, Cardinal for like the first time in Quinella like Quinella might have politely told Cardinal if like she could like move to like the library area of like Santa Cather and Cardinal might have totally politely agreed back as well feeling victorious like Cardinal might have like totally politely agreed back and that actually like basically stay in like the library area of like Santa Cather. It's definitely my personal impression. So, but still, I'm considering Fiona would be might have been definitely extremely frustrated than like it's because like it might have been definitely like it's definitely would be her very first time not being able to like roll over another person. So after such a long time, so like precisely because of that, Fiona would be extremely frustrated, and since then Fiona might have tried like stealthily might have tried multiple times to like precisely like bring Cardinal down but each of those attempts might have been like easily like destroyed by Cardinal. Might have been like the scenario that might have happened leading up to like all the way up to like Sunday. It's definitely my personal impression. So it rather than a face-to-face fight, like since then like I'm considering the fight between Quinola and Cardinal might have turned into like more of like a remote and stealthy kind of fight which even like the moment Kirito even put out into the virtual world of Underworld as like a human flesh like itself, like basically that it might have been that best war between like stealthy and remote kind of like war between like Vienna as well as Cardinal that might have been even continuing with like Vienna on one side seeing Kirito as a threat and trying to like basically destroy Kirito while at the same time like Cardinal on the other side, seeing Kirito as like a hope and basically totally helping, totally pick as part of it, like totally helping Kirito out and basically this might have been what we more might have been like happening this like entire time leading up to like the percentage definitely my during so like being a vegetarian person right now that's for what exactly currently the Cardinals would be like the pretty wanting and wishing for to basically for Cardinals to be finally be able to like defeat Queen and Alicization precisely to get like to somehow manage to like get all the off and all the goblins and everyone from like the dark country where like the administrative powers of like Queen can't reach. This might have been like to get the to form a huge army of like gods and goblins from like the dark country somehow and make them like attack precisely to create an army of gods and goblins and to make them along with them attack Queen and Quinella army, which Quinella might have only created like the Interganites as well as the highest priest as most like as part of like as part of like Quinella's like defense against like any future attempts by Cardinal to attack and bring down Quinella. So like as the years passed and as like Cardinal was isolated into like that suppressed library, like basically Cardinal might have lost hope of basically of ever being able to like bring down Queen Elap. This might be precisely when like the human flush like Kirito might have put out and entered into like the first world of unfold. Secondly, my person to game. So like I'm also preferring at that point, both especially both Quinola as well as Cardinal might have possessed the sense with like unusual human flashlights, uh, displaying unusual characters and everything. It's definitely not person to impression, not being afraid of breaking like the taboo index and everything that side of Kirito and everything like the both Quinola as well as Cardinal might have been instantly been able to sense. So like for Cardinal, Kirito being like the ultimate trump card and then the Cardinal might have been selfly helping, like by sending Alice voice and everything, might have been basically waiting for Kirito to get Kirito to the surprise exact library so that like Cardinal could like totally reveal everything about Quinola and so that like Cardinal, simple like Cardinal as well has the same authority as like Quinola. Cardinal as well, if Cardinal even made it to different tries to like get out of like the library and get out of like the library and tries to like even make it to like the dark assistant. Still like I'm also bring specifically since like my position is that specifically since like the dark exactly like the administrator to another like a cardinal as well won't be able to like use her powers at all in like the dark way. But the threatening like precisely because of this like she might actually need Kirito to precisely go to like the Rastafari and do what she wants to do. Like basically, Cardinal might want Kizzo to like head off to like the Rastafari and basically create like an entire huge army of like orcs and goblins that can like basically bring down like the entirety of like the integrity knight as well as the highest priest of Quinella. So that like basically Cardinal can totally fight alongside Kirito in like basically trying to bring down Quinola, like in this like ultimate war like against Quinola basically at that point Cardinal will be totally thinking in such a manner if like you have to like wage a war against like Quinola and her army then Cardinal would at least be standing more of a chance of by fighting alongside Kirito to be able to like finally or and defeat Quinola. This might be might have been like Cardinal plan like all along and this might be the reason for like Cardinal seeing like most likely the person that might have helped kill it, Kirito even this entire time, and even told this most likely having told Kirito this lie that basically through Alice's voice that basically she's waiting on top of like and stuff so that like Alice could like totally so that Cardinal could totally reveal everything and get Kirito's help to achieve her goal of bringing down Quinola. To which like Cardinal might not only hope that basically Kirito would definitely agree is like my percentage impression, and that's like exactly what I'm personally also only writing because since not only views like QNL as would be right now only views QNL as just like the villain and like the obstruction of just Cardinal, but also it is like the greatest villain and obstruction and even the reason behind like the taboo index and everything. So Kirito as well would be having that priority right now to basically ensure to somehow bring down to basically head off to like the North of recreate an army and return back and bring down Vienna and that way free everyone and that way that would be like the only way in which like Kirito will be even able to escape back to like the real world would be what Kirito would be like thinking right now after hearing everything Cardinal has had to say is definitely one of the things. Okay, so like definitely my very impression right now is that like since like the very first thing that I saw say kind of like of course like even to an alarm was separating like it might have been precisely him that very first thing that that might have eventually ended up being like the silver ragged character from like the legend. It's definitely my person to remember. So what he might have done might have been like he might have most likely like on entering and fighting off against like the Brian, he might have basically left to like precisely because like he totally dislike Janela. He might have like totally started to adopt to the dark country and he might actually be even living in like dark country. And my positive impression that precise cat wearing like the dark armor, like basically who was like riding like the dark dragon in like the dark country, which Alice basically saw before stepping into like the dark country and that way breaking the diamond is like that precise cat look like the dark armor and like the riding like the dark dragon might have been actually the exact size silver dragon cat from like the legend is definitely my person very much. I thought that or he would be like the king of like kings by now he might have made it to being like the king or like the role of like the staff tree and after staff tree. So like the other possibility that I'm considering. So like the really want like get to and through the like and I'm considering get to maybe most likely like hopefully even abducting Alice as well, like the unite Alice. And I'm still thinking about that like it will be certainly through like a conditional duel in which like you would be defeating Alice and then you would be ordering Alice to like follow them and basically them that way like making it to like the dark country. And I'm also thinking eventually definitely I'm personally protecting like Kinto totally like most likely having like a 1 versus 1 dual fight against like that precise silver dragon gas would be maybe the would be like the owner of the tendency of like the dark country and see with like all the orcs and goblins in like the dark country will be like totally listening to him. So like a possibility that I'm going to taking orders from like the silver dragon gas certainly also my person to this. So like I'm considering eventually once Kinto we're making it to the dark of eventually I'm separating like it shows like have a duel against like that surprise king of like the dark of free that is the Brian character in which like it John was separate only or scoring and defeating him and I'm separate might even be like a conditional duel that would that duel would be and I'm separating after Kid Joe be defeating that surprise king of the dark of free that silver dragon's character like at that point Kid Joe would only telling him that basically he wants his help, that Jeffrey wants his help to basically wage the war against like Vienna. So like at that point, like about the arrangements, like he too would be having this like opposition against like would be totally against like Vienna and her villainous ways. Like I'm considering him totally agreeing to like team of the character at that point, and along with him like the entirety of like the goblins and of like basically teaming with like Kirito and like Kisto that were creating like a huge army and basically all of them are returning back, eventually returning back to like and by then I was developing and Kirito is actually succeeding like even changing Alice as well. And maybe Alice might even get slowly get back her memory by then. It's also like a puzzle bit by bit. It's also like a puzzle that I'm different. So like in that whole huge army of Kirito, uh, that Kirito will be creating from like the dark period of the by the time Kirito will be showing up to wage war against UNL, like definitely like Alice as well will be totally on in a Kirito side as well. It's definitely my personal theory and prediction that I'm sitting on this. So like definitely on the theory and prediction right now is that like but so definitely be currently like the king or like the ruler of like the industry of like the and he will be like especially training like all like the orcs and goblins in like that way to get them stronger and he might already be planning on eventually like by training and yeah, making them making all the orcs and goblins stronger and even strengthening up the entire army of orcs and goblins like he might still be like patiently waiting for the right time for him to like basically wage a war against like Greenland to basically bring Greenland down. Especially my cousin Jeremy Brennan, and might be exactly while he would be like almost reaching like almost like be feeling that he has like he's like almost done with his like whole preparation to raise war against Greenland might be like the precise situation or like the point when I was preparing Kirito will be like showing up to like the after race and he will be having his duel with Kirito without realizing Kirito as well at that point will be having that very same exact goal as that of like the body. The also my cousin theory and version as well in the future scenario, which definitely not cousin theory and version. Yes, and like definitely my cousin theory and version right now is that basically even by Cardinal really totally feeling us like the ghosts of the outside world are turning a blind eye. But the only thing what Cardinal would be obviously not at all realizing would be like the precise for ancient and stuff would be like the precise for God of like the outside world that might be like mainly involved precisely being like and that's the best for people being especially Rinko, Kayaba and Kikuoka and Higa and while Kikuoka and it would be precisely like no it would be precisely not them turning a blind eye but it would be precisely the scenario in which like precisely Kayaba as well as like Rinko might be the only two gods among like the four gods, like it will be only Kaiba and Rinko alone that will be even aware of like the situation as like why like absolutely no one is even able to like break the taboo at all. Like basically why like it was us like whole experiment is like not ending up being a success and everything. Like apparently that the incident with like Cardinal as well as like last like soul fusing and everything, all these things like basically would be things that critical information that especially Kaya and Rico might have kept hidden from precisely Higa as well as Kikoka, who have like genuine good intention behind this project is definitely my positive. This might be the precise reason for like solely because of Kikoka and Higa not realizing it, while at the same time like China as well as Ringo precisely ensuring to like conceal this like critical information will be precisely the uh Cardinal totally feeling strange about like the outside world like turning a blind eye. It's definitely my Confucian. This will be like the actuality and like the reality of like the situation, like the outside world is definitely my Confucian. Okay, so that's definitely my Confucian version right now is that like especially because like that can capture your characters that get to actually believe that has died by its own hand back in like Soda or like yet like they had survived and also like, definitely Kaiba would have definitely played like since like Kaiba was like the first creator of Soda Online who trapped everyone in like the virtual world of the trap of like Soda Online and but the Kaiba interference might have definitely happened in like the survival of specifically the Dutkan character so definitely my and that way Dutkan characters even making it to being able to surviving and being able to even make it to Gun Online women keep to genuinely believe that he had taken their life, especially my women members. So Kaiba might have successfully saved like those Dutton casters and but I think even in like the recent present like the attack of Johnny Black, the third Dutton of Johnny Black, even attacking Kirito. This precisely was like the reason this precisely even being like the reason for Kirito and ending up in like the hospital. It's also precisely ending up being like the precise reason for Kirito once again being brought back, ending up in like the virtual world of Underworld again. But preferring that, according to like Kayaba as well as Kiko and all of the secret goals and intent, like especially when Kikoka putting up the job of might have been also like a precise strategy by Kayaba and Kikoka to precisely attract Kirito into that precise job of like the virtual world picture of like the virtual world of Underworld. Definitely my interesting perspective. It might have been Kayaba that might have precisely suggested to Kikoka as like basically Kirito as like the app candidate for like this experiment app these human flashlight for this experiment of like virtual world of underworld name of the experiment. So like I'm considering that experiment had totally failed the moment this had been like abducted by like the integrity night causing like and most likely Cardinal most likely interfering and preventing uh, Kircho like human flashlight from crashing and precisely protecting Kircho that way by precisely maybe like added maybe like precisely Cardinal like forcefully logging out Kirito at that very moment. And maybe that causing Kirito to like come out of like come out of the social world of underworld back into like the real world. And at that point, like it might have like for Kikoka, it was like the for Kikoka team along with the guy, but it might have been for them. It might have been like their first attempt with like using Kirito as like a human flashlight to succeed in their experiment, like only failing with like Kirito returning even with like they even when they ensured to like create the virtual world of underworld in such a as like that will trap in such a such a way by even erasing like the memories of the people who enter and leave from like the virtual world of underworld and on top of that ensuring that there's no logout button as well like the virtual world of underworld still when Kirijo came out of like the virtual world of underworld back to like the real world at that point if there might have had like definitely like for Pico canteen and Kayaba might have had that extreme need to like get Kinto back into like the virtual world of underworld and keep Kinto trapped into like the virtual world of underworld. So by in the case of Kikoka might have never even intended to basically use like this like Johnny Black use some villainous character to like attack Kirito and get Kirito back into like the virtual world of Underworld. Like Kikoka might have not had like the extreme villainous intent, but the extreme villainous intent might be precisely from Kaiba. It might be Kaiba without Kikoka's knowledge. Without like neither Kikoka nor Kiga's knowledge, like precisely Kaiba and Ringo might as well be knowing all especially my person to so like Kayaba with like villainous intent might not only use like contact with just Johnny Black to like precisely and especially with like Johnny Black as well precisely so just like the police were able only able to like the cops were only able to capture like the capture and arrest like the first 10 seconds death zone, but not like the third death zone is like and those different precisely even like the cops being unable to capture Johnny Black totally have to do with like the similar situation as that of Kaiba as well. With like the cops being unable to capture Kaiba, so like especially during that time, like I'm supposed to when Kirito got like the top 10 seconds that can arrested back then. I'm supposed to bring Kaiba might have precisely ensured that basically the cop doesn't get to Johnny Black. So like maybe Kaiba might have provided even self up to like Johnny Black. So also like a certain theory that I'm supposed to only protect. So then Kaiba might have only given order to like Johnny Black. Who might have been only grateful towards Kaiba. So like I'm supposed to Kaiba might have only given the order to like Johnny Black to like especially attack Kirito. And precisely like the and precisely that might have been exactly what might have happened. And basically like Johnny Black even attacking Kirito might have been on like the stealthy precise order of the Kaiba to get Kirito back into like the virtual world of underworld. That's definitely my personal impression. So like I'm interpreting like Kaiba might have been like given the orders as well to like maybe Johnny Black to like attack Kirito, but to ensure that ensure to not take Kirito's life. Like and also I'm interpreting maybe Kaiba might have precisely timed it timed the attack of Johnny Black in such a way that basically maybe that so that like Johnny Black would only be attacking Kirito precisely while Kirito won't be all by himself, but Kirito and Asuna by his side, so that like Asuna will be able to like save Kirito and get Kirito to her hospital. So that way, like the ultimate goal might have definitely been like to get Kirito sort of back to like back into like the once the world of Underworld and Kaiba's intent while in the case of the perfect because intent might have been just to like get Kirito back into like the virtual world of Underworld. Kaiba's intent villainous intent might have been to like slightly attack and poison like the real world Kirito. So that like basically Kaiba could like totally make up the reason for as like the treatment through of Kirito through medical void as like the ultimate excuse that Kaiba could give to like Itoka to like that way that which helped him uh, so that way like Kirito wouldn't be able to like escape and leave from like the virtual world of Underworld even if that so that like even the chance of Kirito waking up like before from the virtual world of Underworld into a shop would be slim and also like and also for Kaiba to ensure that even if Kirito would be waking up like Kirito would be still in this like bedridden medical boy treatment state so like Kirito would be like, having nothing else to do but like return back to like the virtual world of Underworld. So to keep Kirito trapped in like the virtual world of Underworld might have been like kind of like ultimate master plan, and that way to keeping ensuring that Kirito stays trapped in like the virtual world of Underworld. Then for Kaiba to potentially tighten the vice, the precise like tightening of like the vice that Cardinal right now talks about might be precisely happening precisely according to like the villainous plans of like Kaiba as well as a Ringo. Definitely my personal impression. So Kaiba might have made up like the ultimate excuse and why Kaiba might have definitely witnessed that participating initially Ringo might have definitely been according to my personal theory initially Ringo might have along with the Kikoka and Kiga like Ringo and Kaiba were like the four and ancient ancestors of like the virtual world of Underworld. So like Ringo initially was shortly part of this whole team of like the project of like the virtual world of Underworld. So like then participating eventually like Kaiba might have only after like forcefully bringing Kirito into like the ocean turtle location, Kaiba might have totally also wanted like Asuna as well to eventually end up in like the ocean turtle location so that like Kaiba could totally get the ultimate revenge not only on Kirito but also on Asuna as well. Since Kirito like loves Asuna so much, like Kaiba might have also wanted to get his satisfactory revenge not only on Kirito but also on Asuna as well. It's also like me my person to remember. So like not to do this, like I'm also something Kaiba might have precisely Kirito was brought to like the simple location. Like Kaiba might have only ordered like a ring to like leave the simple location, and Kaiba might have only precisely told precisely Kikoga that basically we have to bring Asuna as well into like the ocean to ensure that Asuna as well gets to makes it to like the ocean turtle location precisely because it shows like human flashlight even fails in like the experiment like usually then our next best option would be precisely Asuna. We have to create a situation where like Asuna would be eventually ending up into like those industrial location, and we have to create a situation within like the virtual world of underworld. If crypto artificial flux like is just struggling, then we have to like eventually possibly create a situation like the virtual world of underworld where like astronauts would be forced to like full dive into like the virtual world of underworld, who basically succeeded in like the experiment, artificial blockchain experiment to create the perfect AI. It's definitely not an experiment. So like in such a manner, like Hyper might have potentially manipulated Bokiga as well as like uh, uh, Bokiga as well as like Iboga as definitely not an experiment. It might be like potentially after bringing Kircho to like the unconscious Kircho to like those different location that right then like I was separating or like a person, but it might have been precisely when Kircho was like brought transported from like Japan that are literally printing uh, as the ship might have such transport a cargo ship might have set sail with Kircho from like Japan right at that moment itself. I'm about to printing like Ringo might have left like those industrial locations back to I think America and so like I'm about to printing Kaiba might have sent this mail and created evidence that basically could prove Kaiba might have ordered people who has like send this mail to like Ringo and basically that way to create evidence as if and to create like a false genuinity and evidence as if to like so through this like invitation mail uh, that basically Ringo was able to like make it to like the fortune location and so especially also my personal impression that precisely Kirito, even in like the past meeting Ringo, and talking to Ringo, all that like Ringo might have selfily like even revealed to Kaiba. So Kaiba, since like Kaiba might have only felt that it like Kirito would have definitely revealed about the secret interaction with like Ringo to like precisely Asuna. So precisely because of Kirito, Kaiba might have been only expecting for Asuna to precisely contact Ringo, seeing like Ringo is like a genuine saint like a pure heart and soul. And basically, so like that thing happened exactly according to might have happened exactly according to Kaiba's plan, and that Yasuna ended up in like the ocean surface location through with along with like Ringo. Might have been what exactly might have happened. So definitely my cousin Jerry impression. So right now, my cousin Jerry impression as for like the titan of the wife within like the virtual world of underworld. This might be precisely Kaiba's manipulation of the Kikoka that might be successfully ending up in such a situation with certainly my percentage impression. My percentage impression was that precisely when like the whole fusion of thoughts between Cardinal as well as like Spinel might have happened like precisely Kaiba might have been like either Kaiba or Ringo might have been like the only two people that might have been like watching over like the virtual world of underworld through this monitor, especially by the precisely he as well as Kikota might have not been present. So like precisely Kaiba and Ringo kept that a secret from them and and solely due to that basically like the taboo that not even breaking at all and basically that totally confusing ending up totally extremely confusing like Kiko and Tiga might have been like the scenario that might have actually happened and then those separating like Hayaba basically and then those separating like Canada was started to like basically use her other entire authoritarian rule over like the affairs with the human rights way of like the virtual world of underworld in such a manner that basically it increases that basically it was slowly increasing slowly and tightening the vice and increasing like the possibility of the north south east and west dark dragons as well like being taken out by the dark free orcs and goblins like basically when situation was looking like dangerous for like the humans in artificial like humans in like the human are brave like the virtual world of underworld. At that point, Kikoka might have already suggested that basically like things are probably getting out of hand. Like it just goes on like most likely the humans in like the virtual world of underworld might like the orcs might launch the huge army of like a war and might take the life of all the humans, artificial like humans in the human territory. This might have been a concern that might have Kaiba might have put up, but considering at that point Kaiba might have precisely concealed his villainous intent by precisely telling once again manipulating Hiko and Tiga by telling that this is like for this is like sort of like that precise tightening of the vice situation is like the ideal situation for like all these like great number of artificial human artificial flux right in like also this great number of artificial flux right in like the human touch free like since they are like not at all breaking like the taboo index at all since it's only like Alice alone like that perfect artificial being like the only artificial flux that breaks the taboo index like since like we need to get to like the bottom of this get to the source of this and feel like in an extremely tightened up situation like this like he wants to find out like which among like the great number of like artificial bugs like humans like living in like the human top three once like the white Titan Titans more and more like which one of them would be like surviving by which one of them like that way like that would that such a Titan situation would increase like the possibility of like the all the artificial bugs like possibly breaking the tab index might have been like the manipulation that Kaiba might have done to like a forecast and convince TikTok artists to like create this like extreme of a situation in like the human suffering by like creating this extreme danger of a situation where like the where the human suffering like where like the possibility of like the army of orcs like invading and taking the life of like uh, uh, humans from like the human suffering like as that probability increases more and more like more the possibility of more and more human artificial flux like the human suffering, like breaking the taboo index as well would be greatly increasing would be like the first thing that Kaiba might have told Kiko and might have convinced Kiko and Kiga that this is like necessary. And so like Kikoka might have shortly been convinced by Kaiba. This definitely my personal impression. And this might be the reason for like not even Kikoka to like not even interfering or like deciding to like change anything about like the whole situation in with like the human suffering even while like the army of even while Quinella has totally underestimated like the of dark suffering and basically even while Quinella like army of like Indefinites is basically totally like totally weak and like totally less in number as well when compared to like the army of Frank Goblins. This definitely my personal impression. This might be the precise reason for like uh, none of like the neither Kikoka nor like Tiga would be like helping out or like helping out like the artificial flux side humans elected humans are basically members of the game. Okay, so like definitely members of the game right now looking like Cardinal finally getting subhuman collaborators in Kirito. Like I'm wondering what would be happening next. My personal predictions certainly for like Kirito to probably agree with that Cardinal and is to help out Cardinal and of course they're only putting like the team of that Cardinal, Kirito and Yuzo most likely setting off to basically to take on like to precisely take on fight Queen and who is present in like the top of like the very top of like the center of the like the scenario that I'm looking for. And I'm looking for 2000 is like maybe Kircho like maybe Yujo well joining in on that fight or like maybe like since Yujo has totally missed out on like the entire story about like Queen and everything I'm considering maybe for Kircho even feeling like a bit of concern towards like Yujo so really because Kircho would be totally expecting this whole fight to bring down Quinella to be like an extremely difficult one. So like about separating maybe solely due to like Kircho having that extreme concern towards like Yujo Kircho possibly like lying to Yujo about like him like basically heading out along with like Cardinal and about separating Kircho like telling Yujo to like totally patiently wait in like the library so that like since like Quinella won't be able to like show up to like the library to protect keep Hugo safe while Kirito will be planning on like along with like Cardinal attempting that for her key mission to like basically fight and bring down Quinella. It's like the scenario that I'm different. So like that fight and was different. Kirito to like the team of like Kirito as well as Cardinal and I'm different they would be most likely attempting like a stealthy approach like stealthily trying to like infiltrate to like the top of like the top of like the central cathedral without like the industry night finding out so that like without like the backup of like the interconnect like with like that way with like that with stealth and that way trying to like ensure that like Quinella doesn't get time to like get the backup of like the interconnect like that way launching an ambush attack on Quinella by like Cardinal as well as Kirito. And that way Cardinal and Kirito were only planning on that way lead them possibly being able to like bring down and defeat Quinella might be like the plan. It is definitely my personal impression, but as for like the scenario I'm posted only for once like the fight begins, I'm also preparing like the two of Cardinal and Kirito like totally putting up a great fight against Canada, but still I'm also preparing maybe like them slowly starting like for Canada as well, but still I'm also preparing before they would be able to like defeat Canada. I'm also preparing like the Indian night. It would be too late, and the Indian night will be like finally showing up to that the top floor location of like the central cathedral. And at that point, I'm also putting both Kirito as well as uh, at that point both Kirito as well as Cardinal would be feeling trapped because like it would just be a single Egyptianite. I'm also bringing a whole army of Egyptianites like basically showing up to that very top floor. So at that point, I was so like it might was clear interest for like at that point for like the attempt of the duo of Kirito and Cardinal to like offer and defeat Quinella failing and with the Egyptianites showing up and at that point but we're not interpreting like both Kirito as well as like Cardinal trying to escape, seeing they have been they are far outnumbered both separating at that point for Kirito and Cardinal trying to escape, but like both separating precisely most likely the exit would be blocked. So like both separating Cardinal would be totally solely to that Cardinal at that point would be placing all of our trust and hope that Kirito would eventually making Cardinals dreams come true and eventually bringing down Queen and so like that four numbers to bring Cardinal totally like using her powers like basically attacking like the Interior Knights just to just so that like through that whole opening that will be created that way like Kirito would be able to escape and Cardinal would be totally shouting out to Kirito that basically escape and figure out a way to like really bring down Cardinal. So like at that point, it's like uh, figure out a way to like bring down Quinella. So like at that point, I'm also preparing for Cardinals like exactly capture and like Quinella had to precisely capture Cardinal and Quinella impersonating Cardinal is like the scenario that I'm preparing. So like and preparing at that point, Kirito would be like chased after by the Indian Knights and Kirito would be like frantically running, trying to escape from this Indian Knights and at that point, I was preparing within that center of the Kirito would be like as he would be running, like Kirito would be totally running into precisely Yujo. Yujo would be like casually stepping out of like the library, even though Kirito might have told Yujo to like stay in like the library before Kirito left. Like Yujo would have like casually still like due to Yujo's curiosity, Yujo might have like casually stepped out of like the library. So like at that point, Yujo and Kirito might would be like Kishore is straight away telling you to like keep running and basically the two of them won't be able to like at that point won't be able to even though Kid and you will be trying to make it back to like the library and the different still like there would be already other interactions that would be like already like standing in front of like the library as well. So because like they would be because Queen and might have precisely given the orders to her interactions to some of our intervenants to actually make straight away head off to like not chase after Kirito, but like to typically go up to and block like the entrance of like so like at that point I was preparing Kirito maybe like running off all the way towards trying to end up like the library, but just Kirito making it in front of like the library either like Kirito is spotting like interference right there. So it's both interference might like chase after Kirito and Kirito would be like running away and like Kirito would only running into like Yujo who might have stepped out. That's like one possibility that I'm also running. The other possibility is basically that precisely Cardinal might have left the door of like the library open. So precisely as Kirito would be trying to like make it back to with like Cardinal being captured and Kirito trying to make it back into like the library. Kirito won't be knowing Kirito will be entering like the library and Kirito will be there will be user still will be in there, but still even though the administrator won't be having any access within like the library still especially because the interference can easily enter and attack them within like even like the library and since like Kirito and neither Kirito nor Yuzo that would be having like the magic and would be knowing the magic to seal away like the doors uh of like the library and the thing. So like at that point itself like interference like entering like the library and at that point itself I'm also Kirito and Yuzo totally running out of like the library and basically then I was different Kirito and Yuzo totally deciding to Kirito is well fully aware that like the entirety of like, human therapy having Canada has control over like different things. So Kirito and Yujo totally at that point feeling that like they have no other choice but to like Kirito at that point totally feeling that they have no other choice but to like escape into like the dark country. Like the scenario that I'm referring to, Kirito and Yujo totally running off into like the dark country, and Yujo at that point I'm referring Yujo to like totally tell Kirito that basically whatever Alice like at that point Kirito would be telling let's right now head off to like the after play and we'll return back to like save Alice. We'll be an doctor and Kirito would be telling Yujo so for my person to remember. So like I was referring, so let's Kirito and Yujo would be like running and hiding and making it all the finally making it all the way to like the into like the front of like, the White Dragon cave. Like at that point I was referring mobile Kirito and Yujo would be even entering like the White Dragon cave. Like they are about to like the Industrial Night and it would be like by herself would be like chasing who would have by then like made it all the way to like the White Dragon cave to probably capture Kirito and Yujo. So like precisely was referring there to most likely be a fight between like the Industrial Night Alice versus like Yujo. Most likely like the scenario that I was referring, and as that fight would be progressing like I was referring, or like at the Internet and it would be trying to like capture Kirito and Yujo. I was referring Kirito and Yujo totally somehow like maybe like trying to dodge and evade like and in that whole fight that would be like taking place eventually Alice like Internet Alice even ending up once again like actually stepping into like the dark fabric and that whole tussle it's like the scenario that I'm was referring. So like that way like Alice like having like broken like the taboo industry. And that's once again like at that point it's just like the scenario that I was referring and Alice would be shocked and at that point like Alice would be shocked and confused just like Alice like so that screen showing up on top of Alice and basically revealing that to Alice and basically Alice has actually broken like the taboo index. So like at that point Alice the character would be totally changing and Alice would be totally fearful and like of like the consequence and would be like totally confused. So like at that point, I was delivering Kirito and Yujo totally telling Alice and totally telling and somehow succeeding in like convincing Alice to run off with them in deep into like the dark memory. So like this is like the scenario that I was referring. So from that point on, I'm participating in like the dark memory. Eventually, maybe Alice once again being abducted by the Oxford goblins in like the intention Alice being affected by the or goblins within that's the dark memory. And then like I'm delivering Kirito and Yujo in their quest to like free and they reunite and like in that whole process then eventually running into like the king of the dark which will be precisely Body and Kirito most likely fighting off against Body in like a dual conditional duel and Kirito defeating Body and then Kirito basically revealing how like he wants like the help of Body to like bring down Pain and that way like the whole alliance forming is like this much of like the scenario that I'm putting in my presentation. Okay, so like definitely my presentation question right now is that like Cardinal would be currently talking live to Kirito about like if Kirito can help Cardinal out in like their if Cardinal goal to like basically eliminate Twin and then the Cardinal rewarding Kirito with like Kirito's wish to like save like the third people of Kirito's children and save them to like the archive and everything. That would be like an absolute life by Cardinal. It's definitely my presentation because like solely because like Cardinal is not an actual like artificial flashlight or a fixed Cardinal definitely has that extra element of like that trust programming. It's like the actual since Cardinal have that extra special thing about like it's it's like since the Cardinal have its like sub programming that says like eliminate all the errors of like that of the Queen and I'm considering Cardinal by now might have totally Cardinal program might have right now totally identified Vanilla as like the consistent error producing machine. That would be how Cardinal program Cardinal like the AI Cardinal program would be like totally even viewing Vanilla, especially my position. So like I'm considering things might have totally changed for Cardinal when eventually, so initially for Cardinal, even after like Quinola and Quinola even attempted to like steal away Cardinal like supervising power, and basically that ended up with like Quinola as well as Cardinal like soul being used. Like even after that, I'm different Cardinal might have still been like patiently trying to like remove all the due to its subprogram might have been trying to like constantly hoping to like basically remove like and fix the errors of like Quinella. But since like over time eventually Cardinal might have identified Cardinal program might have only identified Quinella like this consistent non-stop error producing machine that needs to be eliminated. You know, not for all this like non-stop errors produced out of Quinella to be like eliminated, like Quinella herself, like the artificial website of like Quinella that inspired the herself is be eliminated. So about the thing Cardinal might have so in the present, even while Cardinal has Kirito, that her goal is to like basically eliminate Quinella, and she wants Kirito self. Even then, numbers for Cardinal would be like well and fully aware that basically since like Quinella and Cardinal share the same soul. Like ever since like Quinella and Cardinal soul had this fused together, like this. Then my personal theory is that from then like they both share the same soul. Like about to bring even eliminating like the administrator Quinella would be instantly causing like Cardinal as well to like simultaneously die off in like the process. It's like definitely my personal theory about it. So like but still according to like Cardinal's the program like basically eliminating Quinella and that way like or eliminating all errors that keeps on coming out of Quinella in like a consistent basis would be its like highest priority. So like in order for Cardinal to achieve that goal, Cardinal might have realized that basically she needs to like lie to Kirito and Cardinal would be giving all this offer to Kirito of being able to like save precisely these exact people that Kirito wishes to save. So that like that way people like trying to like convince and trick Kirito into like only helping out Cardinal to basically eliminate both Vienna and Cardinal that way. To eliminate Vienna and while doing so Cardinal as well will be getting eliminated. This would be like things that Cardinal would be like well and fully aware of. Definitely my position. But as long as Vienna gets eliminated, that would be like the highest priority and like the highest goal for Cardinal. Definitely my position. So like definitely going to the impression right now that like on top of that Cardinal that offer of like basically to get it of like especially save like the entire people that Kirito wants to save like on top of that Cardinal even telling Kirito that basically that she will do that after Kirito would be like able Kirito would be like logging out and heading back to like the real world. Even that as well would be like an absolute false promise and by Cardinal that need to get Kirito to do exactly according to like Cardinals to help out and to, so that Cardinals could just achieve its like sub-program of like eliminating Quinella is definitely my personal theory and prediction. So that would be like the only thing that even matters to Cardinal as like this AI program, with supervising AI program. It's definitely my personal theory and prediction. None of that, even while Cardinal might be acting, my personal theory is Cardinal might be only putting on the fake act of like empathy and like as if like Cardinal actually cares about like the well-being of like the human fake like the human surface. And in actuality, like only eliminating errors would be like the only thing that way eliminating Grenada would be the only thing that even matters and like the only thing in like Cardinal's mind as well. It's definitely my personal memory. So like even after Cardinal would be well fully aware that even after eliminating Grenada, Cardinal as well would be like getting eliminated and Cardinal wouldn't be caring at all about that. And Cardinal would be also even in the person would be fully aware that at that point with like Grenada and Cardinal gone like they really the entirety of like the human turkey would be standing absolutely no chance against like the uh, against like the invasion of like the orcs and goblins from like the North Supreme, which would be most likely precisely happening like the precise moment without much delay after like Quinella and Cardinal will be getting eliminated. Will you also some think that basically Cardinal would be well and fully aware of what Cardinal thinks that Cardinal can be able to care caring at all about. It's also definitely my talking to end. Okay, so like definitely my talking to interesting right now as like Cardinal will be trying to like totally convince Kirito that basically on eliminating Quinella Cardinal basically getting to it's like actual authority back. Like I'm not different what Cardinal might be right now trying to convince Kirito that would be that rightly since like Cardinal currently have the very same authority as that of Swinella, as that of like the supervisor as and the role of simultaneously and different. Cardinal would be trying to like convince Kirito that they falsely convince Kirito that basically it's like they succeed in like eliminating like Swinella and like the whole supervisor like authority alone would be like restored back to like Cardinal. So like so that like basically the ruler authority won't be present within Cardinal to like interfere with like Cardinal's like supervisor authority. So that like Cardinal should use its like supervisor authority to like its like absolute full extent. So that like using that full extent supervisor authority like Cardinal will be able to like restore back Kirito's like to basically save and protect like Kirito, like the entire people that Kirito wants to protect and everything would be like the kind of way with like Cardinal would be like supposedly trying to like trick Kirito, but in I'm thinking in my personal impression that in actuality like if that situation even happens where like because my theory impression is that like eventually that situation happens where like Spinella eventually gets eliminated. Simultaneously, Cardinal as well would be getting eliminated, and so like simultaneously like the geometry of sector of the underworld will be simultaneously breathing if like a ruler as well as supervisor, especially my business theory on the so like presently my business theory impression right now is that like CFO is certainly going to like obviously agree to like Cardinal to like goal, agreed to like help Cardinal in her goal to like basically eliminate PNL. But still, I'm considering either right now I'm considering two possibilities. Either Gifted only also agreeing to like the offer of Cardinal, rightly save those exact people that are precious to Kirito. Or like the other possibility, especially like the most likely possibility that I'm leaning more towards is for like Kirito to precisely tell Cardinal right now. So basically, he's just they don't want to like protect only like separate people that like protect to him, but like all of like the humans in like the human that we genuinely deserves to like live. So like he wants to protect like all the humans and ensure that all the humans survive and like basically are not survive. Like this will be like basically like the society uh, thing that I'm also putting for Kirito to like tells Cardinal that basically he is ready to like face even though the odds are against them that he is willing to like take the risk and basically ensure that basically to like I'm also putting Kirito most likely coming up with like the idea that basically once Cardinal would be eliminated for but like Pianella would be eliminated for Kirito to like basically train like the entirety of like the human. So like my Bulgarian version as for like an idea that I'm talking about experience projecting out of his door to for his door to be able to like save like the entirety of the humans in like the human history. Because we don't bring like the first idea that gets out with telling Cardinal would be that for let's just like initially focus on like eliminating Pianella and like once Pianella will be eliminated like at that point Ambassador gets out to really reveals to Cardinal that basically of like two possibilities that Ambassador gets to tell Cardinal would be one would be like basically for Kitto to temporarily like like at that point but like Vienna dying like basically and straight away like the taboo that getting straight away as well simultaneously would be getting eliminated like basically Kirjo would be totally planning on basically trying attempting to like basically control like the whole entire masses of like human like the human way and that way to like make them people trying to make them aware of like the extreme danger of like the darkness invading like the human survey and that way for Kirito to be able to like to attempting to like totally convince all the humans in like the human survey to actually train alongside Kirito so that like even though like the like so that way for Kirito to like train and make like the industry of like the humans like turn them into like warriors by making them wield swords and basically basically for Kirito to like basically make use of like all the experience that gets about from like the Swordcraft Academy alongside this Yujo as well. So just to basically teach all the humans in like the human tree to like wield swords and basically so that like eventually once like the dark tree of and goblins would be trying to like invade like the human tree, like the humans would be like perfectly set and ready to like fight back and protect like the human tree. This is like one possibility that I'm looking for. The other possibility is basically for Tiptoe to like give another idea to like to Cardinal, and that idea would be most likely to like for Tiptoe to precisely after eliminating Cardinal and of course Tiptoe to precisely placing the faith that he would be able to like restore back like the memories of Alice and basically through Alice like basically that way like if kids were only hoping that basically if Alice if kids were persistent maybe restoring back Alice's memory somehow then like exact and get the first way in which you know you even attempting that to be exactly how like you don't try to like draw elder memory. If the same about the remember so like that would be like what his job would be like maybe placing his faith on like that way like restoring back Alice's memory and then that way like Alice would be it would be hoping Alice would be like able to like access her high level sacred art spells and using that high level sacred art spells for like Alice to take the question as like the ruler and Alice for Alice to create like the next taboo index next set of taboo index according to like Kirito Bishop and basically so that like through that taboo index like all the humans would be given like the calling of precisely being like swordsmen and that way like all the humans like being given training to wield swords so that like all the humans in like the human country would be ready to like face off against like dogs and goblins but eventually once they will be like trying to like invade like the human country so like the other possibility that I'm thing especially because like Hitler would be well and fully aware of to like Alice already as in actuality, like focusing like high level tech stuff. Well, it's also like a possibility that I'm different. So like get to it only you and Alice as a like set to be able to like the only person that will be able to like learn the high level spells that high level tech that spells from like the library that so using the which like get to will be able to like potentially create like a new set of taboo and like to turn all the humans into swordsmen. This might be like the other possible different plans or like an idea that I'm slowly putting and expecting out of Kirito. Which Kirito I'm also putting to like reveal to precisely Cardinal like a real soon. It's certainly my person theory and so like definitely my person theory and person right and it's that like precisely and it's turning into integrated night also and like I'm also putting that might have been precisely the work of Trina. It's definitely my person theory and person. So like I'm also exactly like how Cardinal had the unique power to like basically not unique but like had the power to like basically create like the insect like Charlotte like tiny insect like spider like Charlotte and send it all out to basically search for like a possible potential candidate to be her human collaborator like bring on one side when Cardinals did just sort of like they're not in the case of like Quinola will simultaneously like as to like exactly even how Quinola might have even gotten people to like even join her interconnect armies, how as to like how exactly Quinola might have even created some interconnect army might have also been like using like a similar kind of power by sending like similar birds and tiny insects to basically spread all throughout like the human touchbase to like precisely find like potential candidates like cancer like humans with like to like added to precisely Quinola might have felt that would be strong enough to, and would they have like having like the potential to become a great endocrine definitely not of intervention emergence. So like I'm also trying the same thing. That kind of insect might have been 50% on riots as well. So like I'm referring Quinola precisely might have totally like when riots died like Quinola might have been precisely might have like used like some magic to like especially turn him into like to make him like a reborn and turn him as like a as elderly like an integrity like the famous Emerson because like Quinola might not only Quinola herself since like Quinola herself has such a villainistic nature like Quinola might not only enjoy like the villainistic nature of riot. It's definitely my personal theory impression and I'm also putting like Quinola as well like it's exactly like my personal theory is that like uh, since like Cardinal had been like observing like the journey of that kid and Hugo ever since they left through it through like Charlotte like through like the Charlotte like tiny insect like basically and the different is similarly precisely just be like Cardinal alone like Quinola as well might have been using her insect and birds might have precisely noticed like Kiddo and Hugo maybe like even before, like maybe like Canada might have noticed it when Yujo, but even back when Yujo might have even cut down the gigants of that trees. It's also definitely my person very understand. So like it was just then like Quinella might have been like observing to join Yujo and using the insect and Quinella might have seen them as like a possible potential threat to Quinella as well. it's definitely my personal question. So like I'm also preparing. So like my cousin here and research and like that even from way back then might have totally knew like the whole journey of that Kirito and Yujo that they are making their journey to like precisely save Alice. So like I'm also preparing precisely because of this reason like that Quinella might have been totally following like the entire journey of like Kirito and Yujo to like rescue Alice with precisely because Quinella secretly observing and like the entire journey of Kirito and Yujo that usually by the time Kirito and Yujo was almost about to make it towards like Alice Presley Quinella Presley ensured to like change Alice into an Indian. And about the particular reason for like Quinella is even doing that like that whole changing of Alice into like an Indian so late might have been to like precisely give that ultimate shock to Kirito by the time like they would be making it so close. Definitely my person to remember like Quinella might have this her villainous nature might have totally felt that they really had to turn Alice into an intergalactic even before then like they see like Kirito and Yujo even that way when happens like sports Alice somewhere out there in like central cities and like basically then basically like they will be already like realizing that basically of like the first so due to like that extremistic nature of like like Greenland might have basically waited and kept Alice and imprisoned by like the industrial like until like Stephen Ujo made it all the way finally into like making it so close to like Alice for at that point for like Greenland to like give the ultimate twist and ultimate shock in a by like getting Alice as like an internet might have been what uh Quinella might have done and like Quinella might have enjoyed all those like villainous textures that Quinella might have made for like Kid 20 so through Alice and other things. Definitely my person theory and return. Quinella might have also enjoyed like basically bringing back Eldery and like the shocks that Kid Joe and Hugo got on seeing like Eldery all of a sudden as like a riot like a substance name of the reference. But like I was reporting exactly like how Charlotte the spy was on and chips of hair. Like I'm reporting there might even be like other insects on both Kipto and Hilda's body. So certainly my first reference looks like Kipto and Hildo might not be neither Kipto nor Hildo nor even Cardinal might have been able to like sense certainly my personal theory and those feel like the size insects and bugs of like the public to another. It's also definitely my personal theory and so like my consulting instructions were like solely due to like the administrator like Quinella having no access to like basically to the area within like the library alone like campus thing like Quinella might have not been able to like to know what went on within like the within like the library and lab to like the conversation between like basically uh, precisely the Cardinal and like Kirito and Yuyo, but still like under the Quinella might have been able to like come to like the conclusion that basically that precisely Cardinal might have been also observing the kids and Yuyo, so like Cardinal might have been precisely within that library. What might have happened might have been Cardinal precisely seeking the help of Yuyo and Kirito to precisely eventually somehow bring down Quinella might be like the conclusion in which like to which like Quinella might have already came to. It's also definitely my positive energy. So like Quinella already right now in the present would be only preparing her sound strategy. It's also definitely my positive energy. So yeah, so like definitely my positive energy right now is that's the night that first tiny night that's gonna basically protect the cardinal gave to like Hugo. And that would eventually end up being like the biggest twist it's definitely one of the question because like I'm participating precisely so far like Srinala might be like well and fully aware that basically that Crypto and Judo have basically been have entered like the library. Which might have been precisely because like even if that Srinala might have even if Srinala doesn't have any sort of like that observation impact on like neither Kirito nor Yugo still am separating like especially with like those kids and Yugo precisely when they say precisely while they were running close to like the library. Definitely Srinala might have only figured it out that basically that basically like Kirito and Yugo would be like totally returning back and trying to like make it to like the top of the friends of their plans. Precisely, they will be doing so. And definitely, I'm considering there definitely most likely will be like that precise insect or within like somewhere in like K20's body, through which like precisely like Quinella might have only observed everything leading up to K20's entering like the library. Certainly, members of the game. So like Quinella might have only prepared some counter strategy because like Quinella might be like only expecting like K20's to like definitely show up to like the top of the center. And I'm not only putting like Quinola would be like totally like using puppet tricks that totally putting Quinola that Quinola would be thinking would be like would be such a puppet trick like that Quinola would be using against like it when you jump to putting would be precisely for Quinola to like disguise herself as Alice. Like it's another way about the putting. So like I'm also putting it when you just struggling that way to like eventually or maybe like stealthily if then you will be like stealthily when making it to the top of like the central capability without my struggle. That's also like a bubble that I'm looking to. Especially because of like the trick that's Vinala would be like the trick and strategy that Vinala would be playing. Like I'm considering maybe for Vinala to be like order like Eldery and like all the other Knights to like stop from standing guard in like the around like the central capability. Like that is also like also that I'm considering especially because like Quinola would be so extremely all confident and Quinola would be totally like wanting to like take out her villains someone precisely to get value by herself by basically like her strategy would be precisely to disguise herself as Alice and to be safe also for her and considering her to like even behave like totally try to like behave and put on a fake act exactly like Alice like the scenario that I'm looking and at that point Yujo would be like totally shocked. Yujo gets so initially shocked at seeing like Alice right there on top of it and they would be like totally initially assuming that would be like the actual Alice but it will be precisely Quinola instead. And about your totally protect you would be like totally fully for falling for the trap and like you would be like totally moving closer and closer towards like and when towards like Quinola and when I'm the things here towards like after a while to feel like a total suspicions like and but the bring precisely as you would be getting so close to what Alice and would be like speaking to Alice at that point Kirito would be most likely literally is like might be like figuring out something like basically about the maybe in like the dialogue that Quinola would be telling to like you so like Quinola might mess up and might accidentally expose like some details that would be straight away exposing that she's like a fake and she's not Alice and right then I'm different or like I'm different because when you would be like interacting emotionally to Alice to Quinola singing Quinola's Alice that I'm different all of a sudden like Quinola basically uh, putting out some sort of a powerful attack and trying to like take Yujo's life. So like at that point I was referring to Yujo totally trying to like save Yujo, but like Yujo getting injured in that whole process. And then I was referring it would be Yujo would have taken a certain level of injury, and then it would be like the task of like Yujo and Kirito to like get into some hospital that way into like defeating like the and was looking at that point, like it would be like maybe badly injured, and at that point it would be like, and Yujo was like, Yujo was like a Quinola fight, and in that fight, I was remembering most likely for like a Quinola to like totally and easily or about Yujo, but I'm also remembering Yujo still at like Quinola would be feeling so overconfident that basically she has thoroughly defeated Yujo, like at that very last second, I was remembering Yujo, like was succeeding in like using that precise short knife of Cardinal on Fuenella. And right then I was separating like Cardinal, like even though Cardinal had actually like wished for like to be able to like use that sharpness on Fuenella, like that accidentally like happening, precisely happening. So Yujo totally that way, like Yujo totally using that short knife on Quinella. Because left Quinella would be at situations be like most likely Kirito badly injured by Quinella's overwhelming strength and like Kirito injured and sidelined and Yujo would be about to be taken the life of by Quinella and Kirito won't be able to like would be that so badly injured that Kirito won't be able to move for like at that very last second up. Quinella would be about to take Yujo's life like Yujo would be like succeeding in like using that short knife and straight away like Quinella and Quinola and the Cardinals right away being linked instantly, and Cardinals would be like instantly realizing that like the moment that linking would be happening. It's definitely my position to remember. So the Cardinal at that point of time straight away like putting Canada into like peace sleep, like the scenario that I'm about to bring. And precisely, Joe would be like, at that point, like Hugo would be like totally using that knife on PNL because like Hugo would be like totally, especially since like Cardinals had basically revealed to Hugo as to like Cardinals even having a spare knife, like so certainly because of that as well. Hugo would be like not that much hesitant of like using away that knife, short knife on PNL. Remember, so like at that point, I was preparing for like most likely for at that point for the Cardinals to like probably put Swinella instantly into like deep play and then with like Swinella put into like deep state like at that point and those was only pressing for like Chip to go to like even go to the floor even up above that and basically access all that memory fragment and using that and was becoming most likely yes so and you go finally succeeding in like then finally injury succeeding in like basically using that memory fragment, like basically, like bringing Alice back, like basically storing back Alice's memory, and basically that way Alice, being able to like finally, through her memory restoring back, like Alice finally being able to also access stuff like high level data as well, just like the scenario that I'm going to different. But still, I'm something eventually at some point in like the future, I'm talking about different for definitely something to go wrong with like Cardinal and basically Quinella still like Quinella once again like returning as like the villain of Quinella once again making a return in like the future of like the scenario that I'm taking from liberating and Michael to be generation. For a personally pertaining like to be precisely after like Kirito and Yujo would be like restoring back the memory of Alice and like at that point would be around that point would be when I'm pertaining like for Cardinal to make some sort of a mistake with like her linkage to like Quinella at that point and basically like Quinella considering in like taking advantage of that opportunity to like basically trap precisely to precisely trap to precisely trap or even eliminate Cardinals. That's like a possibility that I'm considering. And then Quinella straight away coming after like Kirito and Hugo. And at that point, I was considering Kirito and Hugo along with Alice like totally escaping all the way to like the White Dragon's grave. Because like at that point, like they would be able to like make it back to like the library either like because like there would be like the indefinite army of Quinella wasn't there. So like at that point, like the only option for Kirito and Yujo would be Kirito would be to only take like Yujo and Alice to like the precise dark subway and basically like steps like finally entering like the dark subway. It's like and escaping to the dark subway like the scenario of like the possibility that I'm preparing and my secondary and